souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. You may have noticed I have a different music at the beginning of my podcast. I have been wanting to change this for a little bit, and I just wanted um, to do that. So let me know how you like it. It's a little bit different and I like it. So, anyway, today I want to talk to you about manifestation. Why? Because of my book. Yes, I'm talking about my book. My book just released. It's called The Voyage and the Return. The Voyage and the Return: A Path to Self-Discovery. And it is a multi-author book that just got a best-selling status in many different categories. I am so excited. It just launched last week. So, why am I telling you about this? Because this was part of my manifesting list, right? And I believe I have talked to you about manifesting before, but I want to go ahead and tell you again because this stuff really does work. What stuff? The way of manifesting, right? How do you do that? How do you get to the things? And so, in January, late January actually, I began to make a list. I wanted to make a list of 100 things that I wanted to do, manifest in my life. And the first day that I started writing the things, I only got to like 42 or 43. And I was like, gosh, really? Like I can't even get to 100? And so what I did is you begin your list, you start writing down in the present, right? So you write, for example, and I'm going to use the author thing. I am a published author, or I am an author, right? And you write it down in the present, which is what I did. And then as you're writing it, other ideas come to you, and then you add them. So I wrote, for example, I want to be an author. Right on the no, I didn't write that. I wrote, I am an author. And then right underneath that, I was like, okay, wait a second. I am a published author. So I wrote that, right? I am a published author. And then came the thought, I am a best-selling author. And so I wrote these three sentences. Those are three of the 43 or 44 that I got on the first day. So from one idea, as I'm writing them, I'm getting better ideas of how to make this better, right? And I wrote them down. And then I had a whole bunch of other things. And then I had things for about health, for example. So I wrote, I am healthy. And then I started thinking, well, what does healthy look like? I am strong. I am physically strong. I can run around after my son without running out of breath. So things of what describes what being healthy might look like is what I was writing, right? So I had like about 10 different sentences just about being healthy that came out. So why am I telling you this? Because sometimes we come up with one idea, like I want to be healthy, and we're not being specific enough, or we haven't thought this out as much. But then when more ideas come up about it, then you're able to define it a little bit more and put it more as to like the exact way that you want this to manifest. Okay, once you have your list, what you want to do is read this list every day, at least once a day, like right before going to bed or something, or twice a day, or as many times as you have time to do it. And then what happens is that once you begin to read this list, because it's so positive, because it's making you feel good, because it's like in the present as if you already have it, right? You begin to get excited and you begin to tap into this energy of the, which is really high frequency of already having what you want. So as you're saying these things, you're repeating, you're just reading your list. You finish reading it and you're in this high vibe, other ideas appear and then you add them to your list and you continue to do this until you get to 100. Now, for me, I ended up with like 164 things on my list. And then it was such a long list that it was taking me a long time to repeat every day. But I was still doing it, and it was so exciting, and it would just recharge me, right? It would just put me in this positive mood of these things that I was working to come to fruition in my life. And then things began to happen really quickly. I started seeing results and things began to manifest from this list within a couple of days. And it was less than 2 weeks when I began to see things on my feed online about publishing a book. And it was interesting because I'm sure these things appeared on my feed before, but I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't set that intention. And so I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't see them. It wasn't in my range of awareness because I wasn't really thinking that that's something that I wanted, right? But now that I had set the intention, it jumped up at me and I was like, oh, wait a second, that's on my list, right? And I paid attention and I started taking steps to read the article, to read the post, to read what was coming up. And then from there, it began to take place, right? I found a person and a way that I was able to become an author. And it was interesting because the this book offer to become a part of it came to me. It was like the first, second week of February. And I just knew this was for me. And I took action, right? I signed up for it. I decided to do it. And everything started to happen really quickly. And one of the things that happened is that this came into my awareness in February. And the launch date for this was May. And I was like, what? It's February. This book is going to be ready by May? I was like, yeah, sign me up for that. Like, how does it get any better than that, right? Like, you get an idea and then the universe starts to deliver, and it was such speed. It was incredible. It was amazing. So I signed up, I did the work, and I set it out there. It turned out that the book got delayed a month for the launch. So it just launched June 15th. But everything about it happened, right? I became a published author, I became a best-selling author, and I became a best-selling author in many different categories. And all of this happened within 4 months. So incredible at the speed at which the universe delivers to us, when we make our mind that this is what we want, or whatever it is that you want, right? So, okay, this was one of the biggest things, right? I had a lot of things on my list that were like much smaller, right? Like, oh, I want to hear from this old friend that I haven't heard from in like so long ago, right? Things like that. So those began to happen as well, right? I wanted to have a gathering of people because, after COVID we haven't been anywhere, and I hadn't done any of that stuff. And so I put that out to the universe, and it started to happen. I started going out, I started to see people in person, right? Big deal for us here. um so all these things did begin to happen and become real in my three-dimensional life. And all along I kept reading the entire list once or twice a day. I would just keep reading it. It came a point when some of the things on the list were no longer resonating with me. So I started crossing them out. You know what? This one doesn't sound so good anymore. Or I no longer want that. Now I want this other instead. So I would cross it out, put a new one. Also, sometimes you read your list and it sounds good the first time you do it, but then when you read it, you're like, wait a second, that's not really in the present, or that's not as positive. So you change it so this sounds better. So it's a better option that you're asking the universe. So all of these changes happened on my list. I did my list online on a Word doc. So it was easy for me to change things and not have like cross out things. And I was able to read my handwriting and all of that stuff. So, because I have a really terrible handwriting. So this is how I did my list, and this is how I started doing it. It came a point when a lot of the things had already manifested, and a lot of the other things um, were no longer resonating with me. And then there were the things that I still want that have not come to fruition yet. And then I stopped. I stopped reading my list because it was just not my list. It was not resonating. So then now is the time for me to make a new list, right? This is end of June. So pretty much half a year I went with this one list. Now is the time to make a new list of new things that I want to manifest in my life. Why am I telling you this? Because a lot of people have a list, and then if everything on that list doesn't come to fruition, um, they don't do anything else. They just start to believe that, oh, I can't do this. This doesn't happen for me. This works for other people, but not for me because this has been on my list for like 3, 4 years, right? So all of these things begin to happen and creep up in your mind. That's your ego trying to keep you small and trying to tell you, like, no, it doesn't work that way, when it actually does. Because whatever it is that you say, that you speak, that you believe, and you put it out to the universe, you actually make it happen. You bring it towards you. You make it come into fruition. You make it become a reality in your life. And it's just putting that attention, that intention, and reading it and putting your energy behind it. And it's not the energy of like, I want to be healthy, No, right? It's like, I want to be healthy, or I am healthy, right? So again, I did this on purpose. I want to be whatever it is, fill in the blank, it's always going to not bring it to you because you're putting it in the future. I want to be rich. I want to be healthy, right? So you're putting it out there like, yeah, that's something I want. But am I that? Right? So you have to put it in a way that it sounds as if it's already yours. So you can say, I would like to believe that I am healthy. I would like to believe that I am rich. Or you can say something like, wouldn't it be nice if I was healthy? Wouldn't it be nice if I could run around after my toddler without getting tired? Wouldn't it be nice, right? You can use sentences like that. Or if you're really strong in bypassing the ego that tells you all the time, no, that's not true, you can go straight to the straight sentence of, I am rich, I am healthy, right? The reason I don't use that is because my ego is quite strong sometimes. And when I say I am rich or I am healthy, and I look at myself and I feel not healthy, then my ego immediately comes and says, no, you're not. No, you're not. That's not being healthy. That's not being rich. That's not whatever it is, right? And so when you change the sentence to, I would like to believe that I am fill in the blank, or wouldn't it be nice that I am fill in the blank, then the ego has nothing to argue about in your mind to yourself. And then there is no going back and forth. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm so excited because a lot of the things that I put on my list, I told you, they started happening pretty much right away. That first week, I started seeing results on it. And it's really exciting when you get to see the results, right? And you want to have things that are all over the place. I had things from all over the place, things that were like really big, like that would cost a lot of money to get, or like seem really impossible to do, to things that are like really easy, like, making a phone call to someone. So I had like a whole mixture of things. And you want to have all of these things in your list because the little things, the ones that you don't really are not as important to you, when they materialize, that sends a message to your subconscious that, oh, wait a second, if this happened, then this other one can too. So you can put something as simple as like, I would like to have, and then, um, or I am having this wonderful 6-course meal, right? And maybe it's a specific not hotel, a restaurant that you want. Maybe it's a specific food that you want, right? And you can put it in. I would like a hot fudge sundae, or I'm enjoying a hot fudge sundae, right? That's how you do it. Like, it's here in the time. That's so easy to get because you're like, okay, you know what? I can actually go and get that hot fudge sundae right now if I want to. It's so easy, it's so inexpensive, it's affordable. I can do this, right? You go, you get it, and then your subconscious is like, aha, this is true. You put it on the list, and now it's here, and you're enjoying it. So it must be true. So that means that everything on the list must be true. This is why you want to put things that are big, medium, small, all on your list, and you work to make them happen by following your intuition, following the guys, following that feeling of you wanting to do something and then doing it. Like when I received on my internet feed information about becoming a published author, and I clicked on it and read it, right? And then I took action. I contacted the person. To tell you the truth, the first one that came through me, it didn't resonate with me. The title of the book, the theme of the book was not aligned with the story that I had to tell. And so I had taken action. I spoke to the person, I made an appointment, and I did all this stuff. And then I was like, yeah, I don't know, like, this is a good idea. This is a good way of doing it, but it's just not resonating with me. And when I was pondering all of this, then this other offer popped into my feed. And then this one, when I clicked on it and read it, this one was completely aligned with me. So that's what I wanted to tell you, right? That's the way that things work. That's what it means to take action on things, right? It looks that way. Like you just go with the flow. Here it is. Let me open it, as opposed to let me just delete it or just ignore it again, right? This is how things happen. So I'm letting you know because it is so powerful, and anyone can do this, right? Even if you're feeling like really down, really depressed, get yourself up and happy. Get yourself, manifest your mood to be happy and positive. I am always happy. I'm always positive. Things always happen for me. People are very nice to me, right? These are all positive affirmations that you can add to or use in your list to change the situation in your life, right? Because not everything is about physical things. It's not about buying things, everything. It's not about obtaining things. It's about different things, accomplishments, relationships, anything, right? I am so lovable. People love me. People love to hang out with me, right? If you are like seeking out more friendships or more or closer relationships, right? You add sentences like that, and then you say it and you feel into it, and then you let it go, right? You don't start looking for where and how is this going to happen. You make your list, you say it, you read it, you say it out loud. It's so much more powerful when you say it out loud. You say it with a lot of energy behind it, and then you let it go. You go about your days, and then things begin to happen, such as you might notice something on an email or something on your feed that is related to one of the things in it, such as the book for me, and then you take action. So it's not like I went looking for how do I publish a book, how do I do this, how do I didn't do that. I just read it, I said it, and I let it go until the next time that I read it and said it and let it go, right? So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. It is that simple. I am giving you this wonderful advice, which I really believe is wonderful because it really does work, for you to take action. Take action now, right? It's the end of June. So perfect. Make your list. Begin making your list. Begin saying it out loud. Begin getting that energy behind it and begin to say it and take notice at how fast, how quickly things begin to happen. And again, as you're reading your list over and over, make some revisions, right? Change things that you no longer want or that don't sound right or that you're like, wait a second, I don't know if I really want that, right? Change them, cross them out, delete them, add something else instead. Become very clear about the things that you want on your list and then repeat them and then let it go. And all you have to do is pay attention and take action whenever you see something come your way that has to do with something written on your list. Okay, I really, 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 really hope that you will take me up on this challenge. I am going to do my own new list as well. I'm going to go back to my old list and revise it and take the things that are still in there that I have not manifested, that I still want. That's important. You still have to want it, and then continue adding things so that I can create my list of at least 100 things that I want to manifest. And then we'll see where it takes us. Okay. Please like this podcast, give it a review. If you can, share it, share it, share it so more people can reach out and get the messages. I really appreciate it. By the way, if you do give a review on my podcast, just send me a screenshot of it and I will do a 3 carpool reading for you. I send it to you via Messenger. So let me know. I love you so much and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.